From the beginning of this pandemic, we have sought to work with the Governor's Office and administration in responding to the COVID-19, which we all care very, very much about, in a way that makes sense and represents the various regional differences of Pennsylvania. We feel that a lot of these efforts have been ignored, and as most of you know, most of the legislation that we passed has been vetoed time and time again. The latest order shutting down our local bars and clubs and restaurants and restricting restaurant capacity at 25% has devastated the livelihoods of many small businesses all across Pennsylvania in those small communities. In many of these small communities, it is those very small mom and pop businesses, sometimes generational businesses, that have sustained their local economies. I think it was said best by one of my colleagues when he said, when you have only 25% of your table space eligible to generate income, that's a hard hit. Every one of those tables represents a certain amount of income a business needs to bring in. At 25% restriction, that means 75% of this table space goes earning zero income. You can't pay your employees well. You can't continue to cover their insurance, as many of our businesses have done a great job through this pandemic to do, much less pay your bills, order supplies, and keep the electricity on. Ironically, as I walked up here, I just got a message from a constituent. She said, I'm at the end of the rope. I'm out of money. My van with 230,000 miles on cannot be inspected. It doesn't run. How am I to get a job? And more importantly, take care of my 7 children. That's the impact, that's the face of this issue. We are all about protecting Pennsylvanians, and I think the legislature has shown that we have provided as much support, PPE equipment, financial support. We were very quick to get out of the gates early with the initial $50 million that we appropriated and subsequent dollars out of the COVID dollars to protect Pennsylvanians, support testing, and even invest in vaccine investigations in both Western and Eastern Pennsylvania research institutes. Our commitment is there, but the faces of these people who are getting desperate is getting very, very real. It's also got a downstream impact. It's not just about the restaurants or the clubs, but the hotels, the people that supply them, the truck driver that delivers to them, the farmers. With schools sometimes pending whether they're going to open or not, tremendous impact on our dairy industry. And even the dry cleaners in our communities. If you have a hotel with 500 table spaces, 3 napkins apiece or more each night going out to the dry cleaners, this is not happening. The ever-increasing desperation in many of these voices of these small business owners that we hear from is happening greater every single day. To get Pennsylvania back to work, we must get the governor's unchecked emergency powers out of the way. The question begs to ask, when will this all end? We had an extension announced by the governor after dark recently to extend this for 3 more months. So what does that mean? What is going to be at the end of those 3 months? What are the goalposts? What are the mile markers? What goals do we need to reach to be able to let Pennsylvanians do what they do best, and that is go to work, earn an income, and take care of their families? We need a change. And that's why I'm asking our members, both Republicans and Democrats, because this pain, this desperation, this loss of revenue, and the failing economies in some of our local communities is a bipartisan issue. And we are asking all our members to join us on this anniversary of 180 days of this shutdown to override the governor's order and open Pennsylvania in an orderly fashion, keeping Pennsylvania safe, keeping Pennsylvanians employed, and most of all, allowing them to earn a paycheck to take care of their families. This issue is not a partisan issue. I think there's a bipartisan concern about the sluggish economy. They get the same calls we do. They will have the opportunity to express that. We've had members of the Democrat Party support us on some other things in the past, and I think they're feeling the same thing that we are. This extension of this disaster declaration, first of all, should not have been done in the dark of the night, and it would have been very helpful, and I think through transparency and the idea of cooperativeness, would have been better if the General Assembly would have been included in the dialogue about how can we collectively move Pennsylvania forward. Just another declaration, all it does is extend this for 4 more months with no idea what's at the end of the game. I think you'll see some Democrats supporting us because I think many of them realize the devastation that's occurred in the state, and it's time to get Pennsylvania rolling.